Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Coogan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
This is Joe Pugh for IFL TV. We're here at Newlands Gym with trainer Kevin Lilley. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thank you, mate. You good?
Very well, thank you. First time down here. It's not a bad little gym. You got hidden away. I struggled to find it, but once I got here, it's a lovely gym.
Yeah, it's a nice little gym out of the way, isn't it? It's actually Riley's gym, but I've been using it for a few years now. Known Riley a long time, but yeah, it's a good gym.
Just spoke to Nina. How's things with her? Obviously, probably about 6 weeks since she last fought. Was you pleased overall in her performance and the way she handled everything?
Yeah, considering the late change of opponent, obviously we were training for Shannon Courtney, and that fell through for a number of reasons and that, or whatever. I don't really know the reasons, to be honest with you. But yeah, she boxed really well. She won every single round, done what she had to do.
And just on Nina, and for you on a personal level, before we talk about what's happening next, was that your crowning moment as a trainer? Because we know you've been in there, well, actually, a lot of people don't know, actually, that you was cornered and trained a lot of kind of Matchroom's best fighters over the years with Tony Sims a few years back. But on your own with Nina, was that the best one for you, the best night?
Yeah, one of the best, I would say. Obviously, I had Danny Dignam and Danny Darko both win titles in the same night. Before, Darko was the fastest in history to win the Southern Area title, and then Danny won his WBO European title, which obviously in the long run set him up for some big fights. But yeah, Nina winning a world title, yeah, does top it. But they're all good nights.
What's next for Nina then? I just spoke to her. She wants that Ebanie Bridges fight. It makes the most sense on a promotional and unification level. Why aren't we any closer to getting it?
The bottom line is it's down to Ebanie Bridges if she wants to fight or she don't. I've heard she wants 2 voluntary fights and she wants to go to America and all that. It's the easiest fight to make. It's the best fight in the bantamweight division to make over here. It's, like I said, it's the easiest fight to make. It's a great fight to watch. Nina can fight, she can box. Ebanie's a strong fighter, come forward. It's a good crowd, a pleasing fight. I think it should be made, the fight. But like I said, she wants 2 voluntaries. But the problem Ebanie's going to have as well is I know she's going to have a mandatory called on the 10th of October, which is Nina's manager's Lee fight at I forgot her name now, the Turkish girl. They will be called in for that mandatory, so she'll have a voluntary and she will have to fight a mandatory after that. So she's got to look at, does she want to fight the Turkish girl and probably have to go to Turkey? They've got big money behind her, I know that, a big backing. She'll probably have to go out there. Or do you fight Nina for unification? To me, it makes sense. Ebanie's constantly saying she's the queen of the division, she's the number 1, she'll beat Nina. I've heard comments like, what I say goes, I'll decide when this fight happens, blah, 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 all that. I don't listen to all that. The bottom line is you're not the queen of the division. You've got the IBF title, Nina's got the WBA, Luna's got the WBC, Dina's got the WBO, sorry. Listen, they're all good fighters. Ebanie doesn't control anything. You either take the fight or you don't, otherwise you fight your mandatory, simple.
Those words, queen of the division, have come out of her mouth quite a bit. Why do you think that she holds herself in that regard when you have got 3 other world champions in the division who's operating, as well as her, at a very high level?
I don't know where she gets it from. Dina and Luna, for me, are the top 2. Dina number 1 for me. They're elite level fighters. Then I would put Nina in terms of pedigree, a boxing ability, and I would put Ebanie last. And that's no disrespect to Ebanie, do you know what I mean? She's done well for herself. She hasn't really had it that hard. I mean, she's come from Australia. She come over here from Australia. She sold herself well. She's built herself well in other ways. Do you know what I mean? Not boxing. Like she said before, she's had to pay for opponents and out of her own pocket, blah, blah, blah. But every fighter's done that. Nina's had to do that. I just think, I don't know, listen, she had 5 fights against journeyman women. She then boxed Shannon Courtney for a vacant world title. She got beat. She fought Beck Connolly. She stopped her in I don't know, 3-4 rounds. Nina done her in just over a round, so what, it's a journeywoman. She got beat by Gangloff, got gifted a decision, everyone knows that. Fair play, she's got another shot at a world title against Roman. Roman's got one of the moodiest records out there, do you know what I mean? I think she's boxed 15 of her fights against 4 or 5 of the same people. She got beat by Parker, who's just been beat as well in the late round, funny enough. And then she carried on defending her world title. And then Ebanie won the world title with her. Fair play, listen, you take what you're given, do you know what I mean? Her best win is the Australian. She's constantly saying she beats people up. I'll do this, I'll do that. I mean, like, who? Who have you beat up? Do you know what I mean? You're definitely not the queen of the division. You're not a massive ticket seller. You've got a massive social media following. You may do big numbers at a weigh-in, but other than that, you don't do big numbers at fights. Do you know what I mean? Her and Nina, I think, all do big numbers. I think it's a great fight everyone wants to watch.
Do you think Nina's resume holds up to Ebanie's, and if not, better?
Yeah, but I mean, look at it on paper. Forget all the stuff outside of boxing. Yeah. On paper, who's the better fighter? Like I just said there, Ebanie's best win is against Shannon O'Connell. Fair play, I said that. If she beats her, it's a genuine fight for her, and she beat her, and she beat her in good fashion. So fair play to her. Take me out to her. You won that fight. Good. Roman, I don't rate one bit. Do you know what I mean? I think she's a moody world champion. She was around for a long time when there weren't really nothing happening. But listen, you can only beat who's put in front of you. But then look at Nina's resume, 74 amateur fights, 14 losses, 4 times ABA champion, 3 nations champion, multiple medals, travelled the world, beat some of the best fighters out there, travelled everywhere, 5 fights as a pro, fastest British fighter to win a world title. She's beat Tyson Gallagher, who's gone on and beat Lisa Whiteside, who's a Commonwealth gold medalist, a very good fighter. She's now fighting for the European title. She's beat Katie Healy, who won a version of a world title, but she was unbeaten. Jamie Mitchell, Eddie's own words, he sent her out there to get beat. No one thought she was going to win that night. She pretty much beat her every round and beat a very good fighter. And I don't think Ebanie Bridges lives with Jamie Mitchell, not all. But that fight would never happen because they've got the same manager. So people can do their own homework, do you know what I mean? Like resumes, look at, like I said, on paper, Nina's by far the better fighter.
Do you think there's too much emphasis being put on Nina's age? Because a lot of people say, the oldest world champ and everything like that, but at the end of the day, it was only not even a year ago she went out there and done the business on Jamie Mitchell.
Of course, like she's a fresh 40-year-old. Yeah. Ebanie's like, I know we keep going back to Ebanie all the time, I've got nothing against Ebanie, but look, she's what, 37 now? She just had a major operation on her hand. She's not fighting this probably because she's injured on the Joshua undercard. She's always coming out battered and bruised. Like she's had a hard career as well. Nina's fresh. She don't take a lot of punishment. When you see her come out of a fight, do you see her all battered and bruised? She had a couple of cuts from an headbutt from Jamie Mitchell, but other than that, she don't get hit. Nina's a clever fighter. Everyone thinks she's just a brawler, but she's a box. Watch the Jamie Mitchell fight. If you can find it, watch the Jamie Mitchell fight. Watch what she does to her. She's a clever fighter. So that 3-4 years, believe me, don't mean it. Nina's fresh as they come. Do you know what I mean?
Eddie Hearn always says that it's easier to make an undisputed champion in the female divisions, and he has done it in a fair few now. Should there be pressure from Eddie Hearn to make this fight?
Yeah, I've said to Eddie, I said, make Ebanie take the fight. And he was like, well, I can't make a fighter take a fight that don't want to fight in general, like, do you know what I mean? But obviously the money's got to be there, it's got to be on the right show to put the money in. You can't, Eddie's not just going to put money up that's going to lose money. Ebanie's not on big money, nor is Nina. Ebanie makes her money with her OnlyFans stuff, do you know what I mean? I know she's not on big money in the boxing, not many of the women are. It's only at that elite level, do you know what I mean? But I think everyone wants to see this fight. Eddie could make this fight. Do you know what I mean? I don't. The pressure should be put on him to make the fight. Yeah, 100%. But both girls have got to. You've got to have a dancing partner. Yeah, both the girls have got to want the fight, haven't they?
Eddie said obviously that she can't be made to make that fight. Do you think because of what she does on social media, the numbers that she does bring, and the eyes to kind of all of Matchroom socials, because she does do that, do you think she's getting a little bit of special treatment?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Does Eddie want to protect her a little bit? I mean, listen, she does big numbers at weigh-ins. We all know why. And fair play to her. Listen, she does big numbers on her OnlyFans, and she's got a massive social media following. Yeah, she might do big numbers on IFL and all the YouTube stuff and all that. But she don't do big numbers on DAZN. She don't do big numbers in the arena. She don't sell massive tickets like she thinks she does, but she doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, you do big numbers for other reasons on that side of things. And like I said, you're fair play, I've got nothing against it. I hope you make millions of pounds. But I don't know. Maybe he's protecting her a little bit. I don't know.
Last one. Hopefully that fight does get made. What do you believe happens if and when they get in the ring together?
I think it's a very good fight. Yeah. I think it's a very good fight. Yeah, like I said, Ebanie's strengths are her strength. She's strong and she can punch. Her boxing ability is very, very limited. Any boxing trainer will tell you that. Anyone who says different talking rubbish. She's not on Nina's level as in ability. Do you know what I mean? Nina's a far better boxer, much better boxing IQ. Nina punches very hard as well. Yeah, I can only see a win for Nina. I think it'd be a great fight for the fans. I just don't see her really beats her. I think she's too clever. Nina's too clever.
Excellent, Kev. Thank you very much for having me down here today, and thank you for speaking to IFL TV, mate.
No problem. Thanks for coming.
Cheers, mate.
For the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Coogan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.